Welcome to Retire Coast, where we discuss all things retirement, life on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and your financial welfare. Bill Anderson, your host, is a serial entrepreneur having created many successful businesses and holds a real estate broker's license, speaks about personal experiences with each topic. Listen, learn, and improve the quality of your life.
Welcome again to retirecoast.com. We're going to talk today about that mandatory minimum distribution called an RMD that the IRS requires of everyone who reaches the age of 72, or at 73 if you reach the age of 72 after December 31st, 2022. And of course, this is after that point. So basically, when you reach that point where you need to take out the minimum distribution from your IRA, it's got to be done. And that's on 401k, 403, for all those types of plans for which you did not pay taxes. And the reason basically for this, and I'm just saying this, that's coming from me, I don't see it written anywhere, is Uncle Sam needs your money, or the government needs your money. After all, we are in serious debt, and it's just not right for you to hold on to that money. You have had the use of it tax-free for a long, long time, allowing you to use that money to make more money with, which actually is a pretty good deal when you look at it that way. But then it's time to pay the piper. So as I have said to many people I have spoken with and written about, when you take a look at that balance in your old 401k or your IRA rollover account, it is not all yours. You need to share that with the rest of us. So come on, it's time for you to arrange to make a minimum distribution. So let's talk about what that means. By April 1st, you need to take the distribution if you are required to, based on the age I just mentioned to you. And if you want to go to the IRS website, let me just read for you what it says. Required minimum distributions are the minimum amounts you must withdraw from your retirement accounts each year. You generally must start taking withdrawals from your IRA, SEP IRA, Simple IRA, and retirement plan accounts when you reach age 72, and then in parentheses, 73 if you reach age 72 after December 31st, 2022, as I mentioned. So we're already there. Anyway, those are all those plans that I mentioned to you, and it says, interesting, it says that you must generally start taking, well, I don't know what that means, but for all the rest of us, we're not in the general side of this thing, so you have to have that money taken out. Now, the good thing is that most of you are working with a large institution that's holding those funds, and they know this, and they will automatically send you a check for that distribution sometime probably in March of the year in which it is distributed. And then they will automatically, unless you tell them not to, take out some taxes for that. And then you'll report to the IRS when you do your tax return. If you're doing the senior return, the 1040 SR, or even the longer form, 1040 form, there's a place in there to indicate that you have paid some taxes, if that's the case, if you have asked them to take it out. I think by default they take the taxes out unless you tell them not to. So that minimum distribution is going to be based on a table that is available on the IRS website, and the reason I can't memorialize it here is because it's going to change every year. So you go and you check out that table, and the table says that based upon your age and the amount of money in your account, you must take out this amount. And what the IRS has done is determined that they've used actuarial tables, and they will tell you how long you're going to live. And for those of you that don't know that, I didn't know how long I was going to live until I went to look at the IRS table, and the IRS told me how long I was going to live based upon my age. I thought that was kind of interesting. So based on that, they want a share of that money. So the idea is that you'll basically be draining it over time. And for example, you might have $100,000 in your account, and they want you to take out $5,000. I'm just throwing that out as an example. And they will send you, or your the company that holds your money will send you a check for $5,000, and you either take taxes out of that $5,000, or they'll take taxes out of the balance that you have in that account. If you are fortunate to have your money well invested, you may be able to stay actually ahead of this. In other words, when they send that $5,000 out to you, you may earn $6,000 next year. In which case they will send out maybe $5,500, and in which case you'll earn maybe $6,500 in the year before. So it's actually possible, depending on how much income you are earning in your accounts, that you could stay ahead of this. Because the IRS doesn't look at what percentage you're earning or anything. They just want a share of that total amount that's there. And then the amount that's taken out as you get older changes each year. That's why I'm saying the tables change. IRS changes the tables, but then when the tables will change each year, determining how much you take out. Well, it's important that you do this because there is a huge fine and penalty if you don't take that money out. It is enormous. I don't even want to talk about it here because if you don't have gray hair already, you're going to get gray hair over it. So please make sure that you do take the money out. Now, for some people that are living on the funds in there, they may be taking money out every month, which is fine. That takes care of it. It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't have to be a specific withdrawal of, let's say you're supposed to take $5,000 and you took $5,000 at one time. You could be taking, $1,000 a month on a regular basis or $500 a month, as long as the total that year that you have removed from those funds equals or is greater than the amount that the IRS wants you to remove. So if you're living on taking dividends out, for example, that may just do the number for you. Also, keep in mind that as a senior and the fact that you are taking this money out, you are probably already receiving Social Security, maybe some other kinds of income. You can use the senior form to file your tax returns. It's an abbreviated form. It's much easier to use because the standard deduction for everybody is high since the 2017 changes to the tax laws. But seniors get an extra benefit, an extra amount of money. So it's pretty high, and most seniors will not be required to do an itemized return, because if you did it, you'll find that the amount that you can deduct would be less than the standard deduction, which makes using the 1040 SR form pretty simple for you. And there's a place to put the income that comes from your IRA in there, and you can do the calculations. Now, the good thing is that we have written an article on this topic at retirecoast.com. Actually, two articles. One is all about how to do the tax return itself, along with a nice tool in there that will help you determine how much you're going to have to pay, if any at all. And another article which talks about tax planning for next year, so that you can be sure that if there is some wiggle room there, in other words, let's say that you could have earned a total of $50,000 for the year, including all of your Social Security, the money you've taken out of your IRAs, and you've only taken $45,000 out. If you took out $50,000, you would be at dead zero for tax liability, but if you took out $50,000 and 1 penny, you would owe something. The object is to take as much money as you can from those accounts, the old SEP, the IRA accounts, and take it out without having to pay taxes on it. So if your income was $45,000, for example, and you can take out at least $50,000 without paying taxes, then take an extra $5,000 out, and then just because you've taken it out of that plan doesn't mean that you can't put it into a Roth IRA. to just basically take it out of one plan and put it into another. But that way you've satisfied the tax issue for that, and then it's in your Roth IRA, making money for you, and you'll never have to pay tax on that again. So those are just some tax planning things. If you read the article, you can understand that, and there's another tool in there to help you do some planning as well. So be sure to take out your minimum distribution by April 15th when the taxes are April 14th when the taxes are due, and make sure that you take that out every year. If you have already taken money out, be sure that you tell your company that's holding your funds not to send you an additional check. They usually shouldn't, but you never know. Your responsibility is strictly yours to make sure that this is taken care of. And if they do take out some funds and they do take taxes out, be sure that you have listed those taxes, because if they have taken taxes out and you have a zero tax liability, you will get a refund of that amount. So if they've taken $500, for example, from a $5,000 distribution, at the end of the year you owe nothing for taxes. Well, the government needs to give that money back to you, and when you file your 1040 SR return, you can indicate that, and you'll get a refund. Well, thank you for coming to retirecoast.com. I know this was brief, but there really isn't much more to say. Go to the IRS.com website if you want more details about this. They are pretty good on their website. It's one of the better government websites about explaining what's going on. It's irs.gov, G-O-V. Don't go to all those fake websites that hang around there if you happen to misspell it or something and you'll go to another one. Be absolutely sure when you open it up that it is the IRS. Remember, you're dealing with money now and you don't want any scams going on. So thank you again for coming to retirecoast.com's podcast, and I would suggest that you please go to our website and read some of our almost 200 blog articles, many of them about retirement, about taxes, about lifestyle, at retirecoast.com. Thank you.